you can kind of fake your way through arrows and fire rods and even cane strats. But the bombs, you're given a 10 bomb outload. You can go ahead, you don't need to farm for bombs, which is nice, to get through the entire escape sequence through that bombable wall. But you can absolutely tell the difference between who has practiced bomb strats and who hasn't. You can't fake your way through it.
That's always good to hear. The only thing I have to worry about is that final boss. That is the rat at the back of his cave. He is so hard to hit with that one of those bombs. As far as I want to see, let's give him the other one that requires a resource on the HUD. Let's give him the bow.
Bow strats are interesting. It does allow for an early check into Eastern Palace, which is the first dungeon of the game normally. But we'll see what these runners end up getting right away.
You get your wish. It's a bomb start.
Yes! Love it.
And 20 rubies here in the other chest of secret passage. Now, something I want to mention here real quick, folks. If he had got the bow, he would have got 30, a full quiver to complement it. If they got a magic weapon, be it the fire rod, cane of Samaria, or cane of Burna, then they would get full magic to accommodate that. And there is a failsafe put in the event that you run out of ammunition for your starting weapon, you'll get some back from a safe quit.
Absolutely. So it's impossible to soft lock yourself out if you end up running out of ammunition or magic or anything like that. So the developers absolutely built that as intended. Okay, we see AA looks like he's practiced this a couple times, and so is Mentosman. So not worried about practice for these two, and the sync is real.
Yeah, we got the sewer's key there, so that's one thing that they don't have to worry about. You have to find that at some point in this first half of the escape.
And it looks like Mentos is opting for what is probably inappropriately known as suicide strats, carrying a bomb until it explodes for that green guard.
And we get on hard, so those strategies will be a little less risky. Ampharos is having a hard time hitting this guard. All right.
Yeah, he got one as well. Mentos looks like he's a little bit more practiced with the bomb strats than AA was, and this is what I was talking about, the difference between practicing and not practicing. Mentos knew exactly where to lay those bombs and the pathing that those guards would take. He nailed it.
Yes. Now, something to note here. Ampharos has 2 bombs left. He'll need one for the rat coming up. He'll also need one for the 3 chests at the back, which he can get later, but would be kind of a time sink to do so.
Yeah, that might be pretty bad. And hey, just rubbing salt into the wound there. Here's a bomb capacity upgrade there for you, AA. He's actually going to take a save and quit right now. He will restart right away at the Zelda place, but we'll end up with getting another bomb, so he's not quite as bomb poor as he was before.
Yeah, this was a fairly safe play to make. Although, if you go to the altar, you also get to start with 3 bombs. And you don't have to worry about getting tagged by guards. Or have to refight this guard here.
Yeah, I think that might have been a mental error because, yeah, all the doors reclose themselves and all the guards respawn. So that might have been a bit of a mental error on AA's part, not really knowing or having to do that. Just thought he could get some bombs back without realizing that the guards would respawn as well.
Well, now he knows for next time at least.
For Raim, no, AA did not die. He did a save and quit after picking up Zelda because he only had 2 bombs left. The problem was he didn't know that it only refilled you up to 3 bombs, and then you'd have to spend one to kill another guard again.
Yes, and if he went to the altar, got to the door and save quit, he would have had 3 bombs anyway, so Essentially, he just save quit for no reason.
Yeah, a bit of a delay there. Mentos does end up finding the the map for the entire sequence, so we will be able to find what's exactly here. There's going to be 4 items left. We've got the key and the map. 4 items left.
That is correct, and Mentosman is now fighting the final boss of the escape sequence, this rat. Successful takedown. If that ever gets away from you, it's gonna be a hard time to kill.
Oh yeah, if there's ever a reason to use that strat where you're just holding the bomb and walk into something, it's with that rat. Absolutely.
And a bomb booster, another bomb booster, and 20 rupees. Okay, that was not really worth it.
You know what I'm hoping for, sir?
An actual weapon out in Sanctuary?
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm hoping for the exact opposite.
Alright.
I'm hoping for a bomb-required landmost kill.
Oh, you're evil.
Yes, I am, because I want someone else in this tournament to suffer through it. I'm still salty, yes.
AA managed to chase the rat, wasting a little bit of time, but does kill it, and now with his last bomb, we'll get next to nothing. And I missed what was in the Sanctuary chest.
I don't believe it was anything necessarily worthwhile.
Alright, well, Lost Woods check here. And a heart container there, and mushroom.
Okay, I mean, I would have picked it up, but I'm also a scrub, so, you know.
I would have also picked it up. Because this early on, health is kind of an important resource to have.
So, that entire escape sequence yielded us literally nothing. Nothing. As Willie said. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if I would skip a heart at 4. Because if you have to go to Ice Rod Cave via walking, that makes it so that you can take 2 crab hits instead of just 1. Which is revealing unruly is a little bit more ideal.
AA is going to be checking out this lumberjack area. Mentos finding all the love.
And there's the rupees needed for the merchant as well. And we have ether on top of all that.
I mean, we can't do anything about ether, but nice.
I mean, it's going to help when you have to go fight Gyptos and the Stalfos. Because it is an instant kill to them.
Yeah, but we don't have a sword to use it. So I think I'd rather find something else if I were these runners.
Well, usually you would find a sword when you had to deal with them. Oh man.
Single arrow. Wow, we're getting some value out of CAC, aren't we?
Yeah, we just need to find the silver or arrowheads to go with them, with that thing. Then it'll be the one arrow you use to defeat Ganon.
So many hearts. We've already got 7 hearts on Mentosman's side. And he didn't even pick up the heart container that was lying there in the forest. Another arrow capacity upgrade. This is horrible.
Yeah, this is a really low item start here. This is making me think we're going to have an Agaseed.
Makes me think we're having something. I mean...
Yeah, there's a
shield.
That's the second item we can actually track, is the shield coming out of Kakariko.
So shout out to the loneliest person on the internet right now, our tracker, Aizen Teyama. I was going to say the early parts of the game are usually the most difficult for our trackers, but kind of a cakewalk right now.
Yeah, really. Alright, so we're gonna go see the library here. This will be hopefully something that's not progression. And it's our Moon Pearl!
Okay, so Boots required seed, and we have to see Boots relatively early. Mentos is saying, I'm not even checking. It's got to be something. Please, love of God, be something.
Yeah, it really should be something here. Kakariko had no progression whatsoever, and that's usually not the case.
Come on, book. Come on, book.
It is vanilla? Oh my goodness.
What?
This Kakariko was a complete bust! I mean, yes, we have Moon Pearl information.
Yeah, this is the trashiest Kakariko I have ever seen.
I have to agree with you. That was terrible.
So, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, and other folks. Whatever your affiliation or identification, we might be here a while tonight.
And they turned us out. Oh, there's the book.
The book, yes! My dream is alive.
Not yet. No lift upgrade. No fire source. And we also might need those boots as well.
Nah, boots are going to be locked on Landmo.
Well, speaking of footwear.
Okay, well, I mean, that is some progression. And here comes the sad part. That does unlock the Zora area. So even though we don't have a ton of rupees right now, the logic could be saying that your progression is up on Zora of all places.
Mini boulder embalming. So fun. Nice double. And what do we got? Blue cane. 10 arrows. 20 rupees. Beator and the hammer.
Ah, I was looking really forward to a Bombs Burno Landmo. We got an actual weapon.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Molder key, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, absolutely.
So this pretty much kills Aga, except for one scenario. And bear with me on this one. We don't find a glove, or we do find a glove, but boots are on the pyramid ledge.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we're still ways away. We have a lot of progression to check here before. Yeah.
Yes, but meanwhile, we got a plastic sword and we got a well-frozen sword.
I mean, the sword was just over there, chilling.
Real? Yeah, really. Is it made of plastic or is it made of ice in this case? Hopefully it doesn't
it's icicle, so I mean, it is. It much reach to. We're trying. Toothpick. I like that.
There's a cool emo. Yeah. What is that one? And just 2 pieces of heart in the waterfall of wishing. And now with the sword, we can use ether.
And so we're going to at least take a peek of what's up here on Zora Ledge, and it's the mirror.
Well, that's good information to have. Here's hoping AmazingAmpharos decides to check up here.
and we're not even close to the number of rupees. So if we end up getting locked and Zora does have something, it might be a little bit of time before Mentos or AA end up coming back for it.
Yeah, but that mirror is so important, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. Especially as we're starting to stare down. We have at least 1/3 of our access to the Dark World.
Yep. Mentosman is checking the remaining bulk area. No, I'm being debated. He's gonna check. He's gonna buy bombs, actually.
Yep, checking and then going to Hobo before they're saving it, I believe.
Yep. Looks like it.
This seed has been so healthy for both of these guys. They've just been given a ton of hearts. Mentos does save and quit after going to Hobo. AA looks like he's going over for a desert check. This is a little bit of a low percent play right now, especially given everything else that's going on, but he's reading that book as his next progression.
It is indeed, and hopefully I'm sounding all right here.
Oh,
And
powder, yeah.
There's magic powder, yeah.
AA did indeed skip Ice Rod Cave, which is where our first sword is located that Mentosman has. AA looks like he is going to go ahead and go over, check the ledge over here in the desert, and then take a dive in. There are 2 items accessible in desert, although we're going to learn pretty quick if we're boots locked.
That's right. And with that powder, we also have access to magic bat, so here's hoping we'll see maybe boots there.
It's possible. I will say it seems Mentosman has a more kind of traditional routing. AA is trying to feel the seed out. It says that book is there for something this early. You don't get it in a Spheres 1 location unless it's required for something.
Alright, so here we go. First chest of desert is just the map, so it is boots locked.
We haven't even gotten a map check yet from either of these guys, have we?
No, we have not.
Now, we can tell from music, because the sound from Mentosman, this is the Dark World, the Crystal Dungeon music. So, can with say that Mentosman is in a crystal dungeon. We don't know if it's a valuable crystal or not, but at least we know that much.
Yep, so... A lot of Mr. Destructoids in chat. Are we sounding okay, folks? Oh, there's Power Glove.
Hey, number 2. If I'm sounding like a robot, I have to take the time to do this. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Alright, so AmazingAmpharos is looking to head over to Ice Rod Cave.
I mean, he'll be happy to find the sword. He'll be a little bit upset with himself that he didn't come here a little sooner, but not a ton of time lost. The hammer is the preferred weapon that both of our runners have, at least at this point.
Alright, so Mentosman has been dipping Eastern. And there's the sword for AmazingAmpharos.
Now, what Mentosman is doing is technically out of logic, and he's going to get 50 rupees and then save and quit. Now, Hilt might be doing a desert check as well, or I'm a liar.
Well, he just now got the glove, so Mountain may be on his mind.
We also have a sick kid to check because we did get that bottle as well. Yeah, I mean, the mountain, again, it's a sequence break, and you do have the mirror and the hammer, so East Death Mountain looks pretty good.
That's right. Mentos has now seen Lumberjack Cave and knows that it's not required for progression today.
At least today.
Yeah, could be later.
I mean, from a logic perspective, we're doing this particular sequence break. I think Mentosman is going to be trying to kind of sequence break around Aga at this point in time to see if there's any progression up here that he can have access to. And it's a fairly good play. He'll be able to do Tower of Hera. He'll be able to check Ether Tablet, Tactical Rock Cave, and then all of East Death Mountain with its 8 treasure trims. Pretty solid play all around if you're trying to sequence break around Aga.
Yeah. The main thing here is, though, the only way Aga is required at this point is if it's a boots on pyramid situation. And that's not avoidable. Because we know where the Moon Pearl is at the library.
All right, so Mentosman, there's... You know what? I might go out of my way to pick up that big 300, knowing that Zora's in play. And there's a Master Sword up top. Nice.
And that Master Sword is available. Oh, no, it's not available. And there's a matchup with Darkhold. We have Pendant Thieves Town, Green Pendant, Blue Pendant Swamp, and a 5/6 over in Skull Woods. If there was another 5/6, I didn't notice it. There's our level check.
Yeah, so Desert is going to be the pendant, and then, yeah.
Hera is another 5/6. So it's Hera, Skull Woods for our 5/6, Thieves Town, Swamp, and Desert being our pendants, with Thieves Town, I believe, being the green pendant. I hope I got all that right.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds about right. Now, the interesting thing with the particular items that we ended up getting with the pendants, with Swamp Palace being a pendant, we may not necessarily see Hookshot until late into this particular seed. Hookshot is logically required to complete the game because of that gap after Moldorm 2 in Ganon's Tower. And we did happen to see Mentosman practice his hovering strats earlier. So it's entirely possible a pendant Swamp Palace would benefit Mentosman if he intends to hover that last gap if we're going on a search for the hookshot somewhere.
And there we go. AmazingAmpharos done with Eastern for the time being. And we're seeing a bomb jump here from Mentos. Nice spin setup.
Yep, that can be kind of a risky strat. Oh, but we got a key. I don't remember if we saw any of the other items up to this point in time.
No, we have not.
So there's one item guaranteed in the basement, which
And it is
fire lock.
Fire lock. Has anyone done Magic Bat yet? No, but it looks like Ampharos is about to.
Yeah, he'll be doing Magic Bat, and then also checking, I imagine, Sick Kid. So it looks like AA is opting to stay in Logic, at least for the time being.
And there's a heart piece for Mentos. Now, this still leads to the book on Ampharos's end, or the lamp rather, sorry. Nope, there's the boots!
Hey,
there's a
that's amazing.
That's Darkhold access. Just has to go to the library.
Go to the library, he'll get his Dark World access. So Mentosman, while he's going to a more dense location, did not find the progression he was going to be looking for. That's a solid play by AA, staying within Logic and avoiding kind of the siren call that is Death Mountain.
That's correct. Now, Mentosman could still find something important up here. He can find like the lamp, which will tell him that this area is flute locked. Also, Mentos does have the information on the pendants and crystals, and AmazingAmpharos currently does not.
Quick,
does not
Sick Kid, AA, Sick Kid, AA.
I see what he's doing, and I approve of this. He's gonna go to Dark World, check chess game. See, there's the flute, so it is lamp locked, Mountain.
Good intel. Good intel to have.
But yeah, AmazingAmpharos is gonna check the chess gambling game, Sea House, Brewery, and while he's in Dark World, he'll mirror in the Village of Outcasts and then checks the kit. So he's combining, so he's streamlining his checks.
He literally walked right by it, though.
Yeah, I understand, and his reasoning though is what I'm trying to say.
All right, so AA just getting some bombs. Surprising that with how empty everything was, we didn't get a bomb capacity upgrade, just a bunch of arrow capacity upgrades. Mentos finding, oh my gosh, Money Cave.
That's enough for Zora, and a Bloomerang has been found as well. AA is in Thieves Town. First chest is 20 rupees. Can full clear this dungeon, and while it is a pendant, the green pendant is incentivized.
That's right. The green pendant will give you an extra item if you go turn it into Sahasrara. Just like in the vanilla game, once you have the green pendant, you give it to him and he'll give you the boots initially.
In this case, though, it's shuffled just like everything else in this seed. Flute was in Spiral Cave. Currently a sequence break. Because we need the lamp. And all rise for the Swag Dunk Anthem. And where are Boots? Boots are just nearby from Mentosman in Magic Bat.
And ladies and gentlemen, whatever meme you prefer, the quack is back, the goose is loose, the duck is unstuck, the pheasant is present, the dodo is a go-go. Our teleportation method has been unlocked.
And only 50 roots for Sick Kid.
So money is the root of all evil, and that's what's making him sick?
I believe in the vanilla game, it's the air coming from Death Mountain that made him sick.
All right, so Mentosman is getting his boots, and he will be very happy to see that. AA is already in the Dark World, already halfway down into Thieves Town. Although Mentosman has a bit of an edge right now because of that wonderful Master Sword.
So I'm looking here at the pendants. At the very least, we can rule out Hookshot Cave, or not Hookshot Cave, Pedestal having the hookshot.
Yeah, we can rule that out. Let me see. We can also rule out, let me see, Thieves Town, Swamp Out. Yeah, Actually, other than Hookshot, it doesn't rule out a whole lot. We need a fire source of some sort, but that's it. That and Hookshot,
Yeah,
so there's still a lot of possibility for that pet.
Yeah. Of course, you're going to be the always classic troll of Ice Rod.
Ice Rod trolls are just blasé. And is Mentosman... Did Mentosman really leave without checking Hype Cave? Oh,
he has no bombs.
Meanwhile, AA is on stage 3 of Blind, working him over well.
Yes, very nice fight. And what is that Hype Cave? Fire Rupee. And that looked like it was a Saint card there on Blind. And there's the Fire Rod!
So,
all right, just for that,
yeah.
Just for that, 4 out of 10 for Hype Cave today.
Given progression in Skull Woods, which is another 5/6 crystal, required for Turtle Rock, of course, and is our access to a possibly fire-locked basement of Tower of Hera. I might even go up to 5 of 10.
More importantly, though, there was plenty of money there for Zora. And Mentosman is doing a Bombos tablet check. Just getting some arrows, though.
You know, I'm really amazed at the sequence loadouts that these guys have had up to this point in time have really created a huge amount of route divergence that you don't normally see. AA picking up the 100 rupees you get from getting the good bee.
So yeah, this is something I saw in Key Sandy. Did you know that if you can somehow carry a fish all the way to the merchant, you get a whole bunch of pickups?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Kind of interesting, that. There's the lamp!
Oh, and there's our logic access renewed.
Yes, there is our logical access to Death Mountain, and as a result, our flute.
Absolutely. Mentosman, meanwhile, is doing something a little bit unusual. He's going to take a dip into Pendant Swamp. Going to see if there's any possible progression here in these early chests. Okay. I mean, I don't think I've seen this a whole lot, but sure.
If this is clearly a gamble. And there's the mushroom, so might have already paid out for him, but we shall see.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
Do you want to do a fetch quest?
Do you want to do a fetch quest? I whenever I have the opportunity, I have to.
I mean, technically, the powder was your first opportunity. Because that is a fetch quest item, in addition to being one of the best safeties in the game. Alright, graveyard let's check from AmazingAmpharos. Very nicely done. He's riding this in with the Bonk Kit, Rocks, and Kingstoon. Just a hard container, though. Fairly healthy seed, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, we're only 35 minutes in, and AA is already at his second row of hearts.
Yeah, should be fine for the rest of the seed. Especially if he finds some armor upgrade. Oh, that is the closest thing to a dud that you can get. Mentosman's picking up one of the two green rupees in the pool. And there's only 20 rupees at Kingstone.
I mean, they were good gambles to make when you could go ahead and make them right now.
Yeah, we are still seeing the full left side here swamp.
Yeah, this is a gamble that Mentos is taking. I mean, I don't know. He's been playing really well. I don't know if he thinks he needs to make any gambles of this caliber, but it's. We'll see if it pays off. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Now, something here Ampharos can do, although it's not too clean of routing, is that Ampharos can check Spectacle Rock, use the portal, jump down to Spike Cave, then climb back up and go to Hera. He does have the cane and the cape. And there's the red rank for AmazingAmpharos. Alright, lap one here for Mentosman. Compass has one more chest left to check here in Swamp Palace. And Ampharos now sees the Master Sword. But sadly, Aga is 100% dead at this point. So all that is... Ooh, actually... That is an ether tablet check if I ever saw one. And a vanilla big key as well.
I am just so intrigued by the route divergence that these two have had.
I mean, they're taking gambles. Or at least Mentos is taking all the gambles here. Is probably very afraid of Ampharos' skill level.
Well, AA was one of the automatic qualifiers into this particular tournament after placing so well in the fall tournament last year. I think it was top 4. So he's a very highly qualified runner. I think he would be intimidated just about anyone else, except for a handful of people.
So the front of Swamp Palace had nothing important except for the mushroom, and we are going to get a check of that right now on Mentosman's end.
Oh, absolutely. If you're going to gamble this, you gamble it hard. You go full tilt here.
And what did the mushroom lead to? An arrow booster.
Wah, 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 wah.
Insert Price of Right trumpets here.
Yeah, that does not feel good. If Mentosman didn't feel behind before, he absolutely feels behind now.
Someone's asking, why isn't Swamp Palace called Stewart Palace instead?
If some of the runners in this tournament had a choice, it would absolutely be called Sewer Palace instead.
It's just the name the devs gave it. It is a small amount of shallow water around there, though. Alright, here's the Molder fight. Now, unlike Mentos, Ampharos does have the means to get the second item out of here.
Yeah, and if there is something in that second item, that will be great news for AA and horrible news for Mentosman. And it's all thanks to AA holding off and not coming up here and sequence breaking his way around.
That's right. Now, Mentosman does have the fire. I can full clear Pendant Skull Woods here, and there's our big key. Something else Mentos can do is he can mirror and check the pedestal when he's done. Now, it could lead to changes routing entirely, or we can find out that it's nothing required.
Well, knowledge is never bad, I say. So you absolutely, I think you do. Go ahead and check it, because if you know something is there, then you reprioritize exactly what you're doing.
And no coffee breaks track here, and Mentos is hovering.
Yep, there it is. The hover, the swag, all for a keep.
And you got a drink there, Vitasia? Just some water or something? Because now's a good time for it. It's a nice coffee break.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go refill my drink.
I just have mine near me. And only 20 rupees in Hera.
Okay, I'm back. I see I didn't miss anything important.
Just 20 rupees in Hera.
Perfect.
Now, hovering, a lot of people talk about it. It's a very high skill trick, I'd say.
It's an incredibly high skill check that I think is somewhat assisted depending on what system you end up playing on. For example, I don't know of a single runner who plays on emulator that can do the hover, but as soon as you switch over to doing it on console, then it becomes a little bit easier based on how quickly the inputs can be placed there. So, not to say there's a distinct advantage, because I think it's still theoretically possible to do it when you're on emulator, but just seems like everyone who does it plays on console.
Yeah. And real quick, we did see the Ether medallion come into play for Mentosman. You can kill it. Speaking of kill, this moth needs to die.
And he's using hammer strats. This is rough because you have to get right up on him. You only have green mail. He can hurt when you're right up on his tail.
Yeah, but he's out of magic, so he has no choice. Although, that is a gold bead in his bottle, I believe, so...
Yeah, he didn't actually sell it off like AA did. And man, he's got one heart left. He's got to be super careful.
There it is.
Ooh, clutching.
But just for a burrito. Well, I suppose he needed while he's doing his crystal animation. Now, Vitasia, I have seen probably the cleanest small fight I've ever seen. Only 2 spikes were ever launched on both runners' end.
How?
I don't know. But it was amazing to watch. Bow in Skullwoods.
Aww, I have a song that I've been waiting to sing publicly, but I can't until a certain set of circumstances happens, and it involves the bow.
And pedestal check, folks. Armor upgrade. Not required, but nice to have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
And we do see a spike cave check. AmazingAmpharos end. Let's see 20 rupees. So our runners will be at minimum green mail, maximum blue mail for this race. And AA will Alright, AA is going to check Hype Key here, get the Fire Rod. I'm intrigued. I think that's the right word. I think that's the word I'm trying to say, because Ampharos got his flute, has not turned it on yet. I don't think.
He'll get over in that direction eventually. So Mentos is going ahead and doing the big bomb on the fairy cave, which is smart considering we've had early access to go ahead and do these 2 items so early. He's going to go ahead and check the pyramid location as well since he's here.
Big 20. And inside the pyramid fairy, nothing really worthwhile.
So...
And we're getting a bombos check here. I think we've already seen this.
Yep, we sure have. I imagine we're going to go over... We actually have logical access to go ahead and clear pod now. Both runners are missing one thing. AA has to go up and get the bow that's in Skull Woods. Mentosman, for some odd reason, has not gone to Village of Outcasts. The lamp was in the Village of Outcasts Sea Sheep House, right?
Yeah. Might be avoiding it because it's a pendant. But you should still check the surrounding area when you're doing Skull Woods. Although, he did mirror to check pedestal.
So here's AA going ahead, turning in his swag duck, and will have his teleportation access available to him shortly.
Yeah, and while Mentosman does not need the lamp, every seed does technically require it for its logic. And I say that because of the simple fact that there are 4 dungeons that have dark rooms, only 3 of which can be pendants at any given, at most. So that 4th dungeon will always require the lamp and be a crystal. And that's not even counting Agate Tower. If you can do the dark rooms without it, more power to you.
All right. Meantime, Mentos is going ahead and doing the bow side of Palace of Darkness. In the meantime, he's got to be a little bit careful. 3 hearts only.
Yeah, Ampharos, though, is in Skull Woods and will eventually get their bow. Now, in terms of information advantage, I can't really tell the 2 apart. Mentosman does have information on the pedestal. Ampharos, though, has checked Bike Cave. Neither runner, though, has been to Zora.
I mean, we've been up to the Zora area. They've both gotten their mirror, but they've... If anything's on Zora himself, because we didn't have the rupees, they both have plenty of rupees at this point.
So, there's our Titanspin and Pod.
I mean, that's nice progression right now. That does give us access now to Misery Mire, Ice Palace,
Turtle Rock.
Well, Turtle Rock we can't get. We might be able to get through the front door, but even then, we can't open any treasure chests without the cane.
Well, East of Found in general as well, by virtue of that. Do not have access to 3 of the chests in Hookshot Cave, but the fourth, we can bonk jump. That is accounted for in the logic. And for those wondering what I mean by a bonk jump, just hit a wall with the boots. Or a pot.
Like AA just did.
Yeah, those are accounted for in the logic. Because it's actually a mechanic.
An intended mechanic in this game, most well known in Ganon's Tower itself. There's the safety room right as you start the gauntlet that you can bonk across in the cannonball hallway. It is intended for you to bonk across there, and because that is the only way to get across there, we determined that the developers intended bonk jumps to be intended strategies. So some of the logic in here means like bonking across in that first treasure chest in the Hookshot Cave, as well as bonking across the gap into the start of Misery Mire are both possible intended strategies.
That's right. And you can just use it creatively as well to navigate it through obstacles, dodge, attacks. Because you're actually invincible when you're in the bonking frames. When you're in the recoil frames.
Man, that bee is doing work right now.
Yeah, that bee is basically flying over his head, being sort of a lamp in the darkness here. And we did get Bombos in the Dark Maze.
Meanwhile, AA is on his moth fight, and Mentos is setting up a death warp when he has the mirror. I mean, sure, I guess if you want the health refill for the time.
Yeah, he's getting his health back at that point. He needs as much help as he can if he's going to do the dark rooms towards Palace of Darkness's boss. Because those turtles are kind of an annoyance. Although, with the fire rod, can light up the room so he can see what he's doing. So, I'm looking here now at what we have available to us in terms of what we're missing for Go Mode. We obviously need the hook shot, because there's one location. Although Mentos may not need it with his ability to hover.
Yeah, I don't think Mentos is going to necessarily be too terribly worried about the hook shot. He's looking for Cane and Ice Rod, and then he's good to go.
Cane, Ice Rod, and potentially the Quake Medallion, depending on what our medallions are. Neither runner has checked it, although Mentos is the first one to have the means to do so. AmazingAmpharos now with the bow. We'll be checking Pedestal.
Yep, he's going to go ahead and check this. And time for a change of clothes? Nope. And he is getting ready to flute away after a bonk.
And where is he going? Ampharos is going to Palace of Darkness, which means he will get the Titan's Meds. But, unlike Mentosman, you can check Green Pennant, and if Green Pennant has something very important to this run, be it Ice Rod or Cane Samaria, that's a huge advantage in Ampharos' favor, because when does Mentosman go and do that?
Well, I mean, I imagine he's going to mirror over and do the Eastern Palace area immediately after. So he's stuck in this area for a little bit of time, at least for now.
I mean, with the Titan's Meds, Mentos is also incentivized to do the Smith Loop.
Well, he's not been over to Outcast at all. And Sahasrara gives us garbage.
So, both the pendant dungeons that we've been in thus far, I believe... No, just the one pendant dungeon we've been in thus far has kind of been a bust. No, Swamp was a bust.
All three, yeah.
Desert, though, might not be a bust. We know it's boots locked. But we haven't been back in there to loot for those two items. And for all we know, the two items we're missing for Go Mode, Medallion Pending, are in there. the Ice Rod and the Cane of Samaria. And now we're seeing Eastern Palace from Mentosman.
Yep, smart play being able to route these together. Although we both runners ended up dipping this earlier. I think required logically because of the early power glove that's in here.
Yeah, I would say so. Oh, how ironic, by the way, that Pod and Eastern both have lift upgrades.
Huh. Okay, yeah, I can see it.
I wonder if there's a gym membership in this area and we don't know about it yet.
You know, it's possible, but I'm sure the rupee cost for that is just exorbitant.
Well, of course, it's Kiki who's running it, most likely.
He's an extortion. That's it. Kiki is an extortionist because he's secretly running a gym membership. I knew not to trust that monkey.
There's the Titans meds for AmazingAmpharos.
So he's on the logical path right now. Mentos, meanwhile, is coming close to the end of Eastern Palace.
Yep. Black Lamp is not slowing you down whatsoever. Do we get to see the quick kill here? Doesn't look like he's sitting up for a safe strat. Or just an alternate quick kill. Alright.
Just a different quick kill strat. He did it fine. And gets another crystal.
Yep. So, in terms of crystal lead, Mentosman is ahead. Ampharos, I think, has checked more over locations overall, though. So it'll come down to where the logic lies. And I think Mentos is going to check Misery Mire. And by extension, Desert Palace, to see if there's any progression in there. So here we go. What is our medallion to enter Mire? It is Vanilla Ether.
You know what? I kind of like Vanilla Ether. We might get ourselves a bird toss. Maybe. Hopefully. Mm-hmm.
It's a little late for that, unfortunately. Mire Shed just having red eyes. Or red rupees in this case. Dark rooms are entirely possible without the lamp. You just need to learn them. And I think Mentos is fully confident in his dark room navigation.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen him do some of the more complicated dark rooms, and if he needs to go into Misery Mire, he can. I don't know how attractive Misery Mire would be right now, though, given you still need the Cane of Samaria to be able to clear it, and there's only 2 items available in Misery Mire itself. And we see Mentos opting to go to the slightly denser locations up here. We might even see if Mentos... yeah, Mentos, you can't go that way, Mentos.
Yeah, we do not have the hook shot. Although knowing him, he could probably try hovering across that gap. Is that even possible?
No, not across that one, because you start the jump animation by trying to go across that, so it stops you. We might see if Mentos goes ahead and dips into Tower of Hera while he's here, knowing that he sequence broke this earlier, and there's an item in the Tower of Hera basement that I'm sure he would like to know about.
Nope. Gonna gamble it.
I mean, it's a good gamble. We know it's a good gamble, but that's still a gamble for Mentos.
And Mentos is going to go and see what the medallion is for Turtle Rock.
Otherwise, this is also kind of an interesting way to go ahead and get into the top part. Bombos, okay.
So we have both the medallions we need. Now we need the Ice Rod and we need the Cane of Samaria. And also, by technicality, the Hookshot. Because of Molten 2 and it's the final possession. Fire Shield. And a blue bottle. Very nice.
Blueberry's nice. And since Mentos can hover, we might see him go ahead and hover his way through the entirety of Hookshot Cave, which would be an amazing sequence break.
And interesting that Mentos did not actually decide to open Turtle Rock while I was there.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think he has any intention of going in Turtle Rock at all.
Yeah, and if he's gonna come back, he has to come back up this way anyway. Oh, he's gonna hover the Hookshot Cave chests.
Not surprising. We saw him doing the practice. Got a little bit out of it. He's gonna try again.
Here we go. Second attempt failed. I think he'll maybe do one more before it becomes a time loss. To keep trying.
Yeah. No, he's
good.
He's doing all right. Can he? Can he? No, almost.
He's gonna keep trying.
Well, he's gambling. This is gonna save him more time. Like he thinks he can hover around the hook shot right now.
Oh, it's just a hard container. Can bonk to get these two. No, we can't.
All right, so he's still trying. Meanwhile, AA is making his way through Eastern, going through and putting in good work, and he can't quite bridge that gap.
No, I think he has to go north and then hover across to both twice. Alright, well, we got this one. And it's just for money. He's gonna hover across this gap now.
Man, he has a lot of faith put into this treasure chest because he's wasted a lot of time in here. And it is just 10 arrows. So
that is a lot of time wasted. That's easily 3 minutes. Wasn't keeping count, but I think that was about 3 minutes.
So this is easily one of those situations that just because you can do a sequence break or are capable of doing it may not always be the best idea because it may lead to absolutely nothing.
That is absolutely correct. Sometimes it's better to follow the logic than it is to try to break it. Because sometimes the logic is straightforward, other times you're trying to skip 5 steps and it'll pay off. For all we know, Hookshot could be the go mode item and that was completely pointless.
So what Mentos is doing right now is going back and forth between the light and the dark world. There is a reasonably high % chance that in the cardinal direction treasure bushes will be a fairy, like you just saw Mentos do. And he was only at 3 hearts, so he wanted to refill this and get as deep into the cave as he could. You can see he doesn't have magic, so he's relying on his health to get him through here.
Should be fine. Yes, he is.
Man, it's close.
And hello, AmazingAmpharos. Is this what I think it is? Yes, it is. This looks like an Ice Palace play to me. And when he's done, he can go see King Ripoff, or King Zora, as we like to know him by.
You know, AA, first one into Ice Palace, he's kind of foregoing all of these other overworld checks that Mentos is doing, opting not to do, you know, the Jeremiah loop that is available. Mentos is going to be going over here into, looks like the Village of Outcasts area. Both runners have made their gambles and are kind of just sticking to their guns right now.
Yeah, I mean, Ampharos can make that gamble a little bit later.
I wonder if Mentos forgot he had Titan Smiths. He can kind of go south. Yeah, there you go, Mentos. Yeah, one thing that I think Mentos has to get back into this game is he's got to clear his brain right at the moment. After a bad Swamp Palace gamble and that bad Hover gamble, a lot of runners would absolutely find themselves tilted right at the moment, where you're in a position where you know you've made some bad plays and you need to do something to catch up. So you're feeling the pressure that you created for yourself, and it can get into your head a little bit. So right now, Mentos is fighting with himself right now, and he knows that he's got to be doing something. I think he just needs to calm down, check some treasure chests, clear his mind, and let that short memory loss play into it so he can go ahead and keep going through this race.
Yes. The thing here is it's a sort of a mind game. If you get tilted, you can start playing even more badly than you really should. Or you're prone to making more mistakes is what I'm trying to say. Which in turn just makes you even more tilted and just makes the scene not really fun.
Yeah, there's a quick spiral that can happen if you let yourself get tilted and then you make more mistakes, and it just compounds on itself. Swaggity bomb strats by AA there on that Pengator room.
Yeah, shame he didn't have a tempered sword, otherwise he would try to go for the bowling strike. And Mentos is finally into Thieves Town here. Thieves Town was more or less a bust, if I recall right.
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot there, so Mentos is just... I think he's doing it because he thinks there might be something here and he's got to play catch-up. I mean, the real value will be is if something's in that Jeremiah loop location, that Mentos is much closer to completing than AA is right now.
Oh, right, the cape's in Thieves Town. Did either runner check Bumper Cave, actually?
Yeah, AA did.
Okay.
I think it was just a vanilla piece of heart.
Alright, Freezers, what do you got for us? That's the second item there, 20 rupees. Mm.
Yeah, I think there's 3 total in Ice Palace, right?
3 items total. Okay, so right now Ampharos has 2 keys. I think this means that Cold Steer could have an item.
Yeah, I don't know. He skipped the iced tea room at this point in time. Oh, or he's going back for it.
Yeah, because he went for the bomb jump. He has to go around. But yeah, he has 2 keys. He's going back for that. Yeah, there's an item on Cold Stare. And this is either the 3rd item here, or it's the compass. And whatever it is not here in Ice Tea is on Cold Stare. And I can say that with all confidence because... Oh, wow!
Ice Palace has nothing.
Ice Palace is nothing. Oof. Oof. Oh my goodness. Oh no! Okay, wait. No. I'm thinking here. I think the play is Smith Loop to Meyer. One of the 2.
I think the Smith Loop somewhere in there has the cane, huh?
Either that, or it's just in French Vanilla Misery Meyer. And then we have an Ice Rod and Turtle Rock situation, a very classic troll of the seed.
Chat asking questions. I'm just going to check them all off. Green Pendant turned in. Zora has not been checked, so that's still a possibility. Fat Fairy checked. Shroom checked. So lots of one-off locations that we've checked. Zora is worth mentioning, particularly since we've had access to it for so long, and both the runners have already been up there. They just didn't have the money the first time.
That is correct. And both runners probably wrote it off because of Zora Ledge. That had our mirror. Nice cold stare fight. This is the compass.
All right, so AA picking up his crystal, so he's now in the lead in terms of crystal count. Also worth noting, desert is also an option.
Yeah, I think the play here, in terms of routing, just to have complete coverage, do the full Smith loop. Check Digging Game, Cave Savannah Grove, Blacksmiths, the Stumpy, the Purple Chest. And when you're all done with that, if there's not any sort of progression there, go to the Mire region, check Desert, check Mire. Because sooner or later, you're going to find that cane.
Both runners are kind of searching the overworld for some sort of progression right now. AA is going to be checking the Pyramid Fairy, which Mentos has already done. And he's made me a liar again. Why
no, he's going to the Smith Loop in a reverse way. He's going to check Cave South Grove, he's going to check Stumpy, he's going to check Ding Game, and then he's going to go get the Jeremiah.
Okay, so this is actually probably pretty good routing.
Yeah. He's getting all these done so that when he gets the purple chest, he can flute to turn it in.
That makes a little bit more sense than what I was thinking he was doing.
Yeah, this is very solid routing. So, Cave South Grove, nothing. Money at Stumpy. And,
Stumpy.
A little bit of a fun fact here. The randomizer still has that cutscene from Stumpy in the game. If you play the flute for him before you leave the screen, you'll actually acknowledge his vanilla final request. And there's half-hashing in the first dig of the digging game.
One dig?
Is
what?
Yes. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, if you play the flute for Stumpy, he'll turn into his tree form. If you leave, he'll still turn to his tree form, but it's kind of nice that you can still acknowledge his last request from the vanilla game.
Oh, so it looks like both runners are actually doing Jeremiah right at the moment. Or Mentos went ahead and did the digging game immediately after and is going to be following AA. Twin Smiths.
And we also have camera pegs here.
Yep, you might see AA end up doing something like just get the first few rows and then turn Jeremiah in. Or not.
Full check because he's going to mirror.
That's right. That's right.
And we have nothing there in hammer pegs. So it's coming down to blacksmiths. It's coming down to purple chest. It's coming down to Desert or Mire. Or it could be at Zora for all we know. Blacksmiths, what do you contain? Bomb. So it looks like this full Smith loop must be done. We're going to see what purple chest is.
All right, so here's purple chest. We're gonna see what the thief has for us, and it's
Tempered Sword.
I mean, that's nice. I don't know if that's what we were looking for, but that's nice.
And this looks now like a Swamp Palace check from Ampharos. We know it's nothing.
That's
So
going
this
to
is-
negate any advantage he might have in this seed right at the moment if he really does go that route, especially since, you know, Desert is still on the table. Oh, no, he's going over here to turn in. He hasn't done Pyramid Fairy yet.
Nope. So he's avoiding Swamp Palace like the plague. Normally, I don't like that, but given the fact we don't have the hook shot, and we know what the first half has, I would personally avoid the Swamp Palace like the plague until I could at least try to full clear the place. And make sure there's nothing in there at all. And with this Super Bomb, Ampharos might go up to Catfish.
That's a solid possibility. Absolutely. Mentos is right on his tail with that Cheeto sword.
Oh, wait, that's actually really good as well, because if Ampharos goes to Catfish, he can mirror and check Zora. And then when he's done, save and quit, and then go to Desert and Mire. Wow, that is incredible routing.
Yeah, AA is one of those runners that is incredibly well known for his great routing decisions. He can have some problems with, I think, some of the super precise inputs from time to time, but he is still one of the top tier runners based almost entirely on his excellent routing.
And yes, folks, this is a top 64 race today. We're in game 1, and make sure to stay tuned after this race. We will have game 2 for you following the conclusion of this race.
We do see AA going up here to this Catfish. This is our first Catfish check of the race, and I really do hope we route in Zora, unless Catfish ends up giving us something.
Well, meanwhile, Mentos will be going to clear Ice Palace. We know there's nothing here. It's just 3 packs of 20 rupees. Yes, folks, these runners will be doing their 2 races back-to-back. If they end up in a tie, I believe they've rescheduled the race later in the week. I'm not entirely sure, but they will not be doing Game 3 tonight. Catfish is a heart container.
You know, I would always be a little bit wary of any gigantic fish wanting to give you any amount of love.
I mean, with 15 hearts, AmazingAmpharos is actually beyond the health that a NMG runner would get. 14 is the max for them. So, if AmazingAmpharos has any NMG experience to fall back on, this is it. And wow, Zora's not the play. Okay, time to go to Mire.
Would you do Mire first, or would you do Desert first? Because remember, Desert is boot locked.
Well, we have boots.
Exactly.
I would do Desert because it's faster, and if I don't find anything there, I check Mire. Because we're going to have to find progression one way or the other.
Yeah, and Desert is really, really fast. So, yeah, I would absolutely, I think, do Desert first.
And we're going to potentially see a strike here. Yep, there's the strike I love to see. I'd nickname that room Penguin Bowling.
All right, meanwhile, yes, and AA is going to go ahead and mirror over. He's going to be doing the Desert play. Gonna check to see if he finds a quick cane. I think he's gonna be done with Desert, though.
I would still look around, actually, in case the Ice Shard's also in here. But yeah, most likely we'll stop after seeing 1 item, if not 2. We have a small key. We know it's the main chest in the map. He's gonna pick it up just to make sure. No, he's gonna grab that on the way back.
Yeah, because if he gets both items over here, he knows he can just bypass it.
Smart. And there is our armor upgrade. So now the pedestal, which by the way, folks, we have checked it. it will be red mail. And there's the big key.
And he goes ahead and mirrors over, so he's going to bypass the one treasure chest.
If this is Compass... Actually, wasn't it AmazingAmpharos who made the diff in the first place?
Yeah, so he knows. Compass,
right,
so...
If there is a progression item in Desert, it is on Lamola's. It looks like Ampharos is not going to check it just yet.
Now it looks like he's going to go over here and check Checkerboard Cave. When he comes back, he might.
Yeah, I like this routing. He's just checking everything he can. He's probably going to prioritize Mire over Desert or Lamola's at this point because Lamola's is a crystal, or a pendant rather. And then if Mire happens to be a bust in terms of progression, he'll fight Lamola's and then save and quit. So I honestly want it to be a hookshot go mode at this point, but given the fact we're missing 3 items and we only have 2 left that we know of, I have a gut feeling that Samaria is in Mire. And that we have either Ice Rod and or King of Samaria in the back half of Swamp.
Part of me is actually hoping that we end up getting the hook shot as our progression item in here, and that Kane is going to be buried somewhere in Swamp Palace. One, I think that would be incredibly trolly, and I always like to see maximum trolls, but at the same time, I think that would help AA in the sense that it would negate his advantage of hovering. Ooh, Mentos has got to be careful here, down to 1 heart.
Yeah, I've no doubt in my mind that hookshot is somewhere in play relatively soon. Whether or not they find like King of Samaria or even Ice Rod is yet to be determined.
Can hookshot be in Ganon's Tower? Yes, it absolutely can be. But Kane cannot be on Trinex, considering you need the Kane to even get past the front door in Turtle Rock. So that one's not possible.
Yeah. And as far as we're aware of, Mire and its 2 items and Desert with its 1 item are all that we have left to check logically. So something is here. And it happens to be the hook. And there's the hook shot. There goes Mentos's ability advantage. That I can no longer troll Ampharos. However, that item might also lead Ampharos astray, but now we have the back half of Swamp Palace available to us. So our Ice Rod, our King of Samaria, that we need for go mode, for both our runners, could be there.
No, guys, you're not burning a witch, I swear.
The odds were just that high. We pretty much analyzed it.
I mean, and once you get to commenting enough of these seeds, you get a good feel for it.
Yeah, you get a good gut instinct built up in what the seed expects you to do. Every now and then there is that curveball which throws you for a complete loop. Like, I actually have a perfect example of that. I actually had Lamola's, or Moldorm and Hera have the Power Glove and a green pendant, and when you turn the green pendant, you got Titan's Mitt.
That's nice.
That was a very interesting scenario. They went from no gloves to all the gloves in like the matter of 5 minutes. It was amazing. Anyway, Ampharos is checking the cutscene chest, as we call it. Casual players would recognize this as the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it had the big key because AA did not go and open the big treasure chest when he was over in that area. So the last item is either in the big treasure chest or on Vitreous. And AA is going to be making his way over just on the off chance that we have super vanilla Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, and he's going to be checking that real quick. If this is Cane of Samaria, there is the chance for the classic Ice Rod and Turtle Rock play. It's the map, though. So, whatever our second item is, it's on Vitreous. So, it's either at Lamola's. It's not a hookshot cave because we have checked that thanks to Mentos and his hovering.
Yeah, but AA doesn't know that. So, Mentos, is this the play? Bombs.
And bombs at Lamola. So, I think we've narrowed it down. It has to be in the back half of Swamp.
It really does, I think, at this point.
Which means Mentos does not have a hover advantage anymore. He needs to find the hook shot.
Well, and I think he's going to go over here to here immediately, but AA is going up here on Death Mountain just to get that intel. He's going to have a much easier time with Hookshot Cave than Mentosman did since he actually has the hookshot.
Yeah,
and
as a matter of
guys,
go on.
I was going to say, everyone's saying Vit has the ice rod. I do not have the ice rod, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
I think they mean Vitreous. It's easy enough to make that mistake, though.
I know.
I mean, I think one time you were actually mistaken for Vitreous.
I really should probably make that the person I use, the sprite I use, shouldn't I?
Anyway, we'll see the hookshot cave check, but yeah, it is the back half of Swamp. And in terms of advantage, I'd have to give it to Mentos for the time being. And I say that only for one reason. He has checked left side of Swamp. So he knows, once he gets the hookshot, back half of Swamp is the play. Ampharos may waste time doing a full clear. Ampharos is going to at least check the medallion while he's up here. So now he knows that it's going to be Cane of Samaria to enter Turtle Rock. Ice Rod could be in there. But the play is Swamp.
And to think that these two are going to be so close. They have not been even in the same hemisphere for most of this particular race. But as soon as Mentos ends up picking it up, I mean, they're going to be right on each other's tails once we get to kind of the linearity portion of this back end, going past Swamp Palace.
Someone is asking, what was the quote when you read the pedestal? We had an armor upgrade, so this one was, would you fancy a change of clothes?
Yes, harmonic convergence is coming.
Yep. This race is starting to come down to the wire. Mentos now has the hook shot. With probably still hover, despite that, but you can't hover in Swamp Palace, and Ampharos is now entering. Hopefully, Ampharos goes straight to the back first. I wouldn't be surprised if he did little tertiary checks on the way. Yeah, he's going to check the side chests. And yes, folks, there is no way to get the second item inside Misery Mire that we know of because it's on Vitreous, and we need the Cane of Samaria. Matter of fact... Go on.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, matter of fact here, folks, if you have not played the vanilla game recently, let me remind you, Cadence of Maria is normally in Misery Mire as its dungeon item. And so you can't reach Vitreous without it. Now, what were you going to say, Vitasia?
I've completely lost track of everything that was in my mind, so no.
Don't worry. I've been there.
It's like you had a thought, and then your brain didn't have a thought, and you're just done.
I've bet my brain to have multiple thoughts, and I trip over them. And Mentos now realizes Mire is done, and he knows it's Swamp. He has to know it's Swamp.
Yeah, he's got to know it's Swamp. Now, keep in mind, Mentos has cleared the front half, so we'll see. AA is likely going to be heading over here. No, he's going straight to the back.
This is good. We've got a race.
Now, I mean, Mentos did find items back there. At least the big key is one of them. So we know for a fact that there's going to be something that needs to be checked back there. It's just if AA ends up finding both the Ice Rod and the cane back here, then we'll know he's in go mode. He can skip that left side. But as of right now, I really think AA is going to come back and clear that left side.
No, actually, I think well, maybe they might do it, but we'll see. Katie Samaria, map.
All right, there's one of our two.
He might go to Vitreous, or he might gamble that it's Ice Rod and Turtle Rock. Or it could just be right here. 10 arrows. He's leaving.
He's full leaving.
He is going to assume that it's not in there.
This is a bit of a gamble by AA.
I think I know what he's thinking. Samaria's progression. Samaria has to lead to something. In this case, I think he's thinking that it'll lead to the Ice Rod, be it in Mire or Turtle Rock. So, is it going to be a huge gamble? Yes, but we know that it is the right gamble to make.
Absolutely. This is exactly what he needs to do. I don't know how many items Mentosman has ended up finding, so I don't know if there's still something back on Argus, which if the Ice Rod is there, oh my.
Yeah, I don't even remember we found the compass yet, have we?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's been so long since Mentos came here and checked. I mean, he was checking it really early hookshot list.
Mentos has the compass, so there is an item on Argus. Does Mentos make the same gamble?
Does Brian put Laser Bridge in logic? Yes, both Brian and the Cape. The Laser Bridge requires either an invincibility item or the Mirror Shield, so Laser Bridge is absolutely in logic right now.
That's correct. Matter of fact, Mirror Shield is the only shield that the logic sometimes checks for. Fire Shield, little Fighter Shield, you don't need those. They're nice to have, especially the Fire Shield, but you don't need them. Alright, Argus, you have an item. If this is Ice Rod, Ampharos is behind and he will not know it for a long time. If it isn't the Ice Rod, Ampharos is in a definitive lead.
Absolutely. So we'll see. I mean, Mentos has made gambles, this entire game. I mean, he gambled Swamp Palace early. This is going to be significant do or die time for Mentosman.
Didn't quite get a quick fill. And Argus has Quake! He does not have the Ice Rod.
Oh, man. You saw it wasn't a piece of heart. You got a little bit excited. Oops.
All right. Now, is the ice rod on Vitreous? Because Vitreous also has an item. Fiddy has a piece of heart.
So many hearts. All right, so AA completes his 6th crystal. We've got to be going up to Death Mountain now.
It's in Turtle Rock. It has to be. It is the classic ice rod in Turtle Rock. We've checked everywhere else. It has to be there.
All right, so let's do a mini guessing game. We're not going to have any commands or anything. Get your guesses in chat. What number treasure chest that AA opens will the ice rod be in?
Well, AA is going to check the mushroom first. Okay, 45 has been checked. Everywhere in the overworld has been checked. Be it from one room or the other. The only thing Ampharos has not checked over Mentos is the left side of Swamp, but we know that is completely optional. So, just to make sure, I'm going this over in my head. Real quick.
3 in the front side. Chomp room is 4. 5 will be the vanilla big key. 6 we're going to call Mimic Cave. 7 would be the big treasure chest. 8 roller room. 9, 10, 11, 12 I believe is going to be laser bridge, if I'm counting all those right.
I'm going through every location in my head just now that we've already been to. And yeah, nothing in my head is popping out that we have not checked to see. It is 100% Turtle Rock for Ice Rod.
Well, there's one troll that can happen.
Fetch quests.
Fetch quests.
Yeah, shovel. The shovel is the only location.
If you're betting on that, bet 13 shovel spot, because they'll clear all the other item locations first before they do that. And right. I will sing the entire song if we have to leave for the shovel. We will have time going down there as we're cackling maniacally.
All right. Entering Turtle Rock at 137. Video is down for Mentos. This is a race to the ice rod. It is somewhere within Turtle Rock. Or at least the path to it is. Let's see where it is. Here comes the first chest. Key.
I mean, that's nice.
Actually, wait, I almost forgot. There is one more location, but technically it is part of Turtle Rock, and that is Mimic Cave.
All right, so AA is going back. Mentos is on his way up.
Mirror Shield and Bug Net.
That's 2 items. Remember, all of Turtle Rock has only 5 items in it. There's a lot of different keys and things that are going to be in here, so keep that in mind. Already 5 items.
Actually, I think that means laser bridge is required because we don't have a second key.
I believe so, yes, because this is going to be a required key, a guaranteed key here.
And this is going to be a required big key. They're going to need to find this one in. Okay, no, maybe it's not a required laser bridge because it could be both small keys in big chest and roller room. And then the bridge has 3 items. And the map or compass, and then whatever's left over is on Helmstar King. Or not Helmstar King, Trinex. Boss is getting mixed up in my head.
AA pulling out his powder. There's these 4 anti-fairies that are just asking to be turned into health refills. I mean, you need to oblige them.
And nice quick kill there on the pokey. Gets bunny beamed. So I'd say our runners are about, what, 2 minutes apart?
At the most. At the most.
So yeah, this is a fairly close race for the ice rod, and both runners know that it's more or less in this area. Ampharos does not know if it's in the back of the swamp, or the left side of the swamp rather, but he's gambling that, and we know it's a safe gamble.
Absolutely. All right, so AA is getting ready to approach the first kind of safety door, and also go ahead and check Mimic Cave as well as the big treasure chest once he gets there. Oh, that horrible fireball blocked his spin. Stinks.
Yeah, that's why I usually go with fire rod strats on the pokies. It's just, don't have to worry about anything messing with you.
That's a little bit mean in chat. They say, yeah, AmazingAmpharos is about, you know, a really horrible hover strat hookshot cave ahead, which is low blow, but also kind of accurate.
Admittedly, yes, but let's be real. Mentosman was taking a gamble. It did not pay out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gamble. 17 hearts, my god.
Yeah, they are more than well health fit in terms of survivability. There's small key.
Yep, at least that one is required. I mean, we don't know what's going to be, but we've only really got 2 items so far in all of Turtle Rock. We still have 3 more to go.
Yeah, there's going to be at least 2 in Laser Bridge. 3 if this is a small key. It's an item, so we have a small key on Laser Bridge. We also have any combination of the 2 items remaining, the map and the compass at Laser Bridge. Whatever's left over is on Trinex. So ideally, we want to see all 3 items.
And I think maximum heart attack would be if the shovel is absolutely here, and then immediately we get the ice rod, because then we just go nuts.
Alright, here we go. Laser Bridge check. Get your hype ready, folks.
Get it going.
First chest. It's the ice rod! We're in go mode! And,
First one!
And this is our 7th crystal, Datasia. We don't have much time.
Yeah,
so,
we'll start this thing before too long, but GG.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and quickly explain it, because we don't have time. So, folks, we have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which is the big key. Hold your guesses in chat for a little bit here, and when the game goes live, give us a number and tell us what chest you think is the big key. And if you are a supporter to the Speed Gaming family of channels, be it through 250 bits or more, or a subscription to the channels, any of them, you are eligible for our leaderboards, in which we are keeping track of how many times you have guessed correctly.
Yep, we're going to wait until a little bit. I got the command ready to roll, though.
Yes, and make sure to get them primed and ready, folks. You have maybe about 30 seconds to get your guesses in before we close the game. There goes Trinex.
And here we go.
And there they go. They are flooding. They just flooded the chat. They were ready. And there's combos for Mentosman. This is going to be fairly close.
All right, so AA with a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to try to get some exact timestamps here from the time they enter Ganon's tower.
All right, make sure to get ready to close the game.
Yep,
We're gonna close it
I got
when
you.
we see. We're gonna give you guys a little bit of extra time. We're gonna close it when we see AmazingAmpharos go downstairs. To the basement and start checking items. And Mentos literally did all the dungeons. And is this close behind? So this is gonna be a great game too. Ampharos is going left side. First chest is a red potion.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Bob gets to live though, not picking up. And Ampharos is prioritizing the Stalfos room, not even checking the Hope room, as we call it. Number 2, small key. Number 3, arrow booster. Number 4, small key. Number 5, piece of heart.
And we have AA using Dark Magician strats, going left side in order to farm up some keys and then committing to the right side here. It also prevents you from having to kill those skeletons there. I like the play.
Piece of heart and bombs. Is this? Yes, this is the Dark Magician route.
And if it's on the right side, because under normal circumstances you would have been forced to go to the left side if you started out in the Hope room, this would be an amazing play by AA.
Yeah, so that was just 6 and 7, by the way, for our guessing game. Now, I've actually seen a little bit of a hybrid strat going on, in which it starts out like Dark Magician, but if you don't see a small key in the Hope room, you just go back going left side. Because any runner who's doing a traditional route would not go full right if there's no small key.
Yeah, but then I would think that would negate any advantage you would normally have. So we'll see. And Mentos started out in that Hope room. So AA is checking these.
8, 9, 10, 11! Big key on right side! Dark Magician paying out.
That's huge for AA right there. That is amazing for AA.
And it is 11, folks, as you see. Who guessed correctly? It
Brink
was
of Dawn. GG,
Brink of Dawn. Congratulations. Let us see those leaderboards, shall we? And currently the lead is Ravis 10 with 13 guesses. Alpha Channel
just like snipe everything. My gosh.
Yeah, Alpha. Last time I saw the game, Alpha Channel was in the lead.
We've been doing this tournament, this game, all tournament through all of the Swiss rounds, 7 rounds of Swiss. So if you think about that, there were 512 entrants. It's 256 games. Not all of them, of course, could be on speed gaming, but GG's to everyone on our leaderboard. That's amazing.
That is incredible. And given the fact that it was a Dark Magician route that saved so much time, I have to give it up to AmazingAmpharos. This is his race to lose.
I am becoming more and more enamored with the Dark Magician strats. The more I see it, there's the shovel.
First chivalry. Sorry, had to say it. So, with the exception of the silver arrows, all we are missing is the butter sword and 1 bottle, which we might find right here on Mentosman's screen here as he checks random room. Oh, like I said, silvers right there.
Okay, so nice little edge for Mentos. He'll be able to catch up a little bit of time. You know, it's not going to be... I mean, it'll be close. It'll be absolutely close. I mean, these guys are going to be finished in just a minute or so of one another. I don't know if those silvers are going to make up the time differential at this point in time, though. AA is very proficient in his silverless Ganon strats.
What I really liked is the fact that this seed, despite we have a Mentosman being a very capable hoverer, this was a hookshot required seed, so Mentos could not take full advantage of his skills in this race.
Yeah, it looked like it for a bit, but not quite.
Yeah, and I want to remind you folks, once again, this is not the final game for these two. There are still 2 more games, and one of which is going to be following immediately after this race is over, and we are seeing AmazingAmpharos being slain here. Small key, 20 rupees, piece of hard. So, given the fact we have full cleared pretty much the entire seed, shovel probably leads to either the 4th bottle or butter. And the last one's in, what am I trying to say? Last one's in Tyrum. Unless there's in these 4 chests right here. Which AA will be checking. 20 rupees. 3 bombs. Getting the nice health refill here. There's another 20 rupees. So yeah, we pretty much will have 100% knowledge of this seed. That is insane. And there's the big key for Mentosman. Alright. Time to loot Moldorm's last possession. And it's just bombs. So, Tyrum has either the sword, the butter sword, or the 4th bottle. The other item is in the shovel gate spot. We've checked literally this entire seed. This seed was a hundo.
This was horrible. Now Mentos is going to have a little bit easier time with the silvers, but my gosh. I mean, look at AA's life total right now. And this is them, you know, skipping health at some point.
Yeah, skipping health. And also, there's an armor upgrade at pedestal. That we know of, so both runners didn't really need that. And there we go. Ampharos has defeated Agatu, and now it is time to fight the pig.
Absolutely. So we're going to see Mr. Blue Bacon himself. AA, the only thing he could really reasonably hope for is silvers, but he's a very accomplished runner. Silverless is not going to be a problem for him.
That's right. Now, folks, for those of you who do not know how this fight's going to work, let me go ahead and explain it to you. We have the Tempered Sword, the second strongest sword in the game. 12 slashes for the first 2 phases to advance to phase 3. Then a slash as when Ganon stops teleporting, that will break the floor. I need you to do that 4 times to advance to phase 3. And then comes the truly difficult part of the fight, phase 4, the silverless strategy. We'll have to keep a torches lit and spin it into him 12 times. Those spins can be very tricky to set up because you have to basically dodge and counterattack 12 times. And if you mess up, you could be sent flying into a pit and have to restart the entire fight over. So far, very clean in Ganon fight.
Did you find the arrows in my tower? Well, someone did. Just not AA.
And we do have the torch glitch. Normally both torches go out, but because Ampharos lit the left torch faster than the right torch could go out, the right torch will never go out.
And AA is set up now to be able to do 3 per torch. Normally, you know, depending on the setup you can only ever get 2 hits on Ganon per torch cycle per se. But if you set things up just right, you can get 3. And he's got the cycle. He sometimes is going to bypass it if he's not in good position. But he'll be able to set it up really cleanly here.
Yes, and if I didn't mention it before, I'll mention it in here. It is 12 spins for Silverless with Tempered Sword. If it was Master Sword, it would be 24. So, if you're gonna go Silverless, at least make sure you have the Tempered Sword. Butter does not really matter too much in this fight when it comes to that. Needs to drink the blue potion to restore his magic. And GG to AmazingAmpharos has defeated Ganon. And will be the winner of our Game 1.
GG to AmazingAmpharos. As he crosses the threshold here, we will see his final Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 52 seconds. GG to AA. Got him. Meanwhile, Mentosman did go ahead and do a forfeit afterwards. He wants to kind of keep himself fresh because, ladies and gentlemen, the rematch, the grudge match, is coming on right after this. We're not even going to have time for an interview. We're going to give them some time to go ahead and get freshened up and get set. Stay tuned. Mentosman8 versus AmazingAmpharos is going to come right back at you. You know, when we look at the difference in the first time of this race, it came down to AA being willing to leave Swamp Palace and Desert Palace and not full clear and says, I got my progression, I'm gone.
That's right.
So both of these runners just have done an amazing job. If you guys like what you saw from these runners, go ahead, give them both a follow here. They're going to be around.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to at least see an attempt from Mentosman to fight Ganon. And while we are doing that, let's go ahead and talk about the seed here. This seed was terrible. Well, I'll just go get right to the point. It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it was one of those seeds. I mean, you're seeing Mentosman right now, and you know, part of me is really glad that he's going and finishing this out, just because I want to see his item collection rate at the end of this. I mean, we've got to be over 200, which is just insane.
And okay, it looks like Ventos did at least defeat Ganon for us. Oh, it fell!
He is such a troll.
And it looks like that is when he officially forfeited, actually. But yes, GG's to both our runners here. Make sure to stay tuned, folks, because we have one more race for you tonight, and it is this very race. Game 2, Mentosman versus AmazingAmpharos.
Yep, it'll be right after that, but we're going to go ahead and I think wrap things up here.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys some fresh commentators, fresh tracker here for this one. But from us here in the commentary booth, my co-comments Fantasia, make sure to give him a follow. Also, make sure to give our tracker a follow as well. His name is so long I've already forgotten. Sorry. Let me get this up.
Aizen Teyama.
Yeah, Aizen Teyama. Thank you for tracking this race. And of course, we are on Speed Gaming 3. Make sure to give all the Speed Gaming Network a follow here. Speed Gaming's 1, and then 2 through 6. And also, We're doing foreign restreams, are we not? We just started doing that?
Yeah, I believe so. We are... I mean, for the rest of the evening, this is the only race that we have going on.
Yes. And
But
if
tomorrow
it's
we
not...
have a lot.
Yes, and if that's not enough randomizer action for you for Link to the Past, we have now 5 restream channels for Link to the Past randomizer, and 2 Link to the Past randomizers, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is brand new. It's glorious. But yeah, that's it from us here in the commentary booth. We're gonna go ahead and get you guys, let the other team get ready to get settled in here. But from us here in the commentary booth, I've been Wolfling. My co-com, of course, has been Vitasia. And we shall see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Game 2 in just a little bit.